t'embrasse, je t'embrasse, tous tes pieds semblent viennent, nous aurions sembleur un charmant élégère, c'est ça, le vrai bonheur.
My name is Cassiopeia Berkeley-Agyepong, and I am the writer and performer of this piece. I trained at the Royal Academy of Music and the University of York. I'm just a storyteller. I love storytelling, particularly through music, and so everything I do has that element running through it. Before starting this project, I actually didn't know anything about Josephine Baker. I'd heard the name and knew she was an iconic person from around the 1930s, but that's all I knew. And so this has been an amazing journey of discovery to find out about her life, her work, her amazing career. Josephine was such a polymath, and I was really drawn to that, especially when trying to create the character. I really understood the idea of doing lots of different things and being able to try out hand at different things. She started out not even as a performer, really. She kind of just jumped on tour as a dresser and eventually rose in the ranks to become a movie star. And that spirit of let me have a go, let me see what I can do, let me push the limits, really, really spoke to me. I think she was a brilliant advocate both for social justice, racial justice and equality, as well as a musical and theatrical icon. When approaching writing a piece about such an iconic character, and also for myself to perform, I'm not going to lie, I was super, super scared. But also excited about being challenged. I think if you're not afraid of what you're about to do, then is it really worth doing? And that's something I see in Josephine as well. I just kind of delved into the research, a lot of help from my sister. I was actually overwhelmed by the research even. There's so much written about her. She's written multiple autobiographies, there's loads of archive footage. And so we really kind of immersed ourselves in the world of Josephine. And suddenly this story of this amazing life kind of came out, and I was sort of thinking how am I gonna share this with people? That's what the show is. It's a retrospective look through all of Josephine's life, pulling on some of her iconic songs to kind of frame the journey that she takes. The way that we chose what to use and what to leave out in the show, I think partly it was driven by the music. So I kind of listened to a lot of her back catalogue and kind of picked out my favourite songs. So I was like, which ones would I love to sing? Which ones feel really important in terms of the lyrical content or in terms of the films they were featured in. So you kind of had these two categories, songs that were amazing and songs that were amazing and also really relevant to a particular point in her life. And then I set about kind of putting them in order and how best to tell the story. So it's almost each song frames a chapter of her life. Josephine sings in both English and French. She started out in America, then moved to France. And there's some songs where she sings them both in French and also in English. And I love those moments. And it was really great also for making the show as well, because it was a great invitation to include both the English and French versions of the lyrics.
I'm Yshani Perinpanayagam, and I am the arranger, composer, music director and pianist putting together A Night with Josephine. Cassie did an enormous amount of work going through a lot of material. She did a lot of research in putting together a story of Josephine's life, but also finding songs that seem to match the point in her life that Josephine Baker was at. And so I received from her a summary with suggested story points and suggested songs. So there was already that structure for which I could just climb in and start to play. I have several favourite moments in this piece. I think some of the ones I'm most proud of are the ones Cassie and I really engineered between us, where there's either a sudden drop in volume or a sudden brashness that is a combination of Josephine Baker's own material, Cassie's ingenuity with the words, and kind of me putting those things together with the materials I have. Those dramatic moments make me really excited. The moments where I get to watch Cassie as Josephine shine in the amazing songs that are so virtuosic and have so much heart in and so much play. And in songs like Feeling Like a Million, just hearing the real bawdiness of the brass playing is fun.
Why are we telling the story now? It's so important. I think even for me, someone who works in the arts, who loves theatre, I didn't know anything about Josephine Baker, so her story needs to be told. I think it's so important to look back at the past and learn from it. And actually, so we don't keep repeating the same cycles. We can look at Josephine's life and go, what did she do? What did she achieve? How can we move forward with that? How can we take another step forward rather than ending up in the same circles of what's happened over and over again? When you come to see this piece, I think you can expect to have a really eclectic evening, actually, not just from the perspective of Josephine's music, but also there are projections integrated. So you get a real look actually at the woman herself.
We get to see little sections of the real Josephine in the background and some snapshots of that period, which really helps whatever the venue, just really take you to that place. And the combination of the music and the style of language, the mix between English and French with those images, I think can really take you to the heart of what she was experiencing.
We're both channeling the spirit of her, but also paying homage to her brilliant work. And so it's really, really exciting to kind of fuse these different mediums together of music, theatre and screen.
You feel like a character from the past really is talking to you.
Everything was perfect.
You will get a feel for the performers as well. There's something about the way the piece is put together that I think it really brings the performers to the audience. You can expect to find out some things about an amazing woman that really should be known. It's such a great story, and I think you can expect to find some new favourite tunes.